living in a van? I'll show you my sports and reveal the secret to what keeps me motivated. You kicked my butt into gear for this workout video. To be honest, I haven't done anything as far as workout since July 29th. That's the day I crossed the finish line for my very first triathlon. So you saying, hey, we want to see you hike a trail a day and we want to see you rock climb, that made me immediately get on backcountry and order my 3 trail essentials. It's always exciting to open boxes. So let's see what I got from backcountry. Trail shoes, that tennis shoe feel, but it has the grip of a trail shoe. I want to talk to you about these socks. They're what I used on the Pacific Crest Trail, hiking from Mexico to Washington. They separate your toes. The 3 causes of blisters are moisture, friction, and heat. Can you hear me? Garmin, talk to your satellite. I don't know how to work this thing yet. I picked out the Garmin because there were so many things that my smartwatch, my former smartwatch, couldn't do. I would swim and it couldn't calculate me swimming, or I would want to know my real-time elevation to see if I was simulating my course. I switch up my sports seasonally. This summer I did a lot of swimming, biking, and running from California all the way to Canada, and I picked my route based on how I could train. This winter, my goal is to just send it down double black diamonds. I want to learn how to jump on my skis. So if there's any ski instructors out there, message me. Let's go hike. For my fall activity, we are gonna hike a trail a day and we are going to rock climb. I'm really glad you voted for rock climbing because it's a sport that I can do in the winter. It's inside, it gets darker sooner in the winter, so I don't sit in the van and I'm not all lonely. I have rock climbing gear, just 2 items that I've never used. This will be the first night. I have a chalk bag, shoes, because I don't know how much money I want to invest and how much time and energy I want to spend in this sport since I'm brand new. I hear that like half the people in this gym live in vans.
Yes, that is very true.
So I'll start on like a 5'6",
Yeah,
5'7". Okay, so I'm gonna be showing up at these climbing gyms by myself. Do I just go up to a random stranger and say, hey, will you belay me?
A lot of gyms will have like a little sign-up board.
So I'm not gonna create this like, oh yes, my life is glamorous and I just am so active and I'm so fit and I'm so outdoorsy. Because I know we all have that excuse, I don't have time. I make the same excuse. But here is what I find that works for me, or what I have found that works for me. I am extrinsically motivated, meaning I have to sign up for a triathlon before I'll even go get a bike and learn how to compete in a triathlon. And if I put my money towards that, and if I mark it on my calendar, then I say, well, Liz, you can't back out now, you have to do it. I really don't want to go paddleboarding this morning. It is a little heavy, it's cold, it's foggy. Even though you're uncomfortable, not freaking out when you're uncomfortable. A dirty little secret about me. If I wake up and I first check my email, if I first check Instagram, that just like instills this anxiety in me, like, oh, I have all these things on my to-do list. I have all these check marks I have to do. I have all these emails I have to respond to. And then I'm like, oh, I just have to do it right now. And I can't, I'll just go work out later. Well, then later is never, because then it's the end of the day and I'm exhausted, I'm mentally exhausted, I'm physically exhausted, and I would rather not do anything. Well, then I found like I have to take so many mental breaks during the day, but all those little mental health breaks equal like an hour and a half to 2 hours. Why would I not just allot that time at the beginning of the day and go explore? I'm a little tired, a little winded. It's my first day back in a few months. I pick my locations based off of where I can train. Then I'll choose more scenic spots to go and visit so that I can get out first thing in the morning and go for a run. And that typically means that I'll be sleeping in quieter spots, more scenic spots, and spots where there's like state parks and campgrounds. It's like every time I'm almost there, I kind of want to give up, like, oh, whatever, you know, I've hiked long enough. And then I say to myself, Liz, you're almost at the top. Why would you give up now? I don't buy a lot of workout clothes, meaning that I have to stretch these over about a 2-week period before I do laundry. After hot yoga, which is when I sweat the most, like a 90-minute hot yoga class, I'll get the clothes that are drenched and I will hang them right here. This door open right here allows the clothes to dry fast, then I can reuse them. Let's talk about these Injinji socks. These Injinji socks saved my life. I credit these socks for having minimal blisters. In regular socks, when your toes are all together, they kind of go like this in your shoe. They rub together. When your toes are separated, that is prevented. A good sock is the second most important thing to mitigating blisters. The first most important item, a good shoe. I swear by Altra trail shoes. First reason, they have a wide toe box, so let's go back to your toes. They aren't crunched together. They have space to breathe, to sway, to spread out, but not too much space to like roll your ankle or to have too much room. These shoes I've hiked in the snow in the Sierras in. The other reason I love Altras is because it's a zero drop shoe, so your heel and the ball of your foot are on the same level plane. Well, any other shoe, your heel is gonna be a little up. That's essentially like wearing a little high heel all the time. Your IT band is gonna become tight. A tight IT band gave me lower back issues and it gave me knee issues. I have to stick to a zero drop shoe, an Altra tennis shoe, so that my knees won't hurt after 20 miles going downhill. Here's my trick for tying my tennis shoes. Make loops on both sides, cross over your lace to the other side through the loop and tighten. That gives me extra ankle support. Please don't let an expensive Garmin watch deter you. There are Garmin watches under $100 on Backcountry's website that will hold you accountable, because it's all about holding you accountable. It's all about motivating you. Maybe you're wondering, well, is this shoe sturdy enough for me? I have a bad ankle. Or what is the watch that fits my needs? You can get on Backcountry's website and talk to the gearheads. That's their customer service team. They'll answer all your questions. Okay, so I want to hear from you. What motivates you to work out, and what fall activity will you try? If you need some new gear, I've got you covered. You can save 15%. Just get on Backcountry, pick some items, and at checkout, click promo code and type in WildMile15. To keep myself accountable and for you to keep me accountable, I'm gonna post my daily activity on my story on Instagram. You can see what I did that day. Okay, let's talk about next Sunday, because I have a little bit of a predicament. I'm attending Women on the Road. It's a gathering for nomadic women in Taos, New Mexico. I don't know if I'll have cell phone service. Best case scenario, I will be live with you on Sunday. You can ask me any questions that you want. So if I have good enough cell phone service, let's talk Sunday, 7 p.m. West Coast time. If something happens where I can't join you Sunday, then I'll figure out a backup plan, a plan B. As always, I hope you have a great week and safe travels.